What is going on, fam? What is happening? Welcome to episode 70 of the Arrington Gavin podcast. This is the show where we discuss trending stories and topics from the fields of politics, sports, and pop culture. As you see, I'm not sounding so thrilled right now. So this is literally I'm recording this episode minutes after Super Bowl 58. Um Super Bowl 58, the game where you had the San Francisco 49ers taking on uh the the reigning champs Kansas City Chiefs over in Las Vegas. And it's so much happening, right? So much stuff. So I want to kind of just really give you the aftermath of the Super Bowl. So as you know, if you don't, you're late. KC won it in overtime, 25-22. Now, my predictions beforehand was, I believe, 27-17 San Fran. This game ended up going into overtime. San Fran had the lead. They weren't able to accomplish scoring a touchdown in overtime, because if so, they would have won the game. But they scored a field goal, gave it to KC. KC ended up scoring a touchdown, winning the game. But I'm gonna kind of backtrack it, give you all my uh uh thoughts, thoughts on just the Super Bowl overall, including commercials, including the uh uh national anthem, Lift Every Voice, all the pre-show, the pregame performances, as well as the halftime and commercials. So I'm gonna start off first with the opening acts. So you had I think Audrey Day performing Lift Every Voice. Of course, beautiful song, amazing artist. Performance, it was back and forth. It was iffy. I just think either the sound, the music was a little over topping her voice. I feel like I hate when the background music kind of takes over and you really can't hear the artist's voice thoroughly. So that's how I kind of felt that her performance was. She can sing, and you can see in her, you can see that she was bursting out her notes, but it just didn't come out that great. So I mean, again, technicians got to do better with that. But Andrea Day she is an amazing performer. I highly recommend you guys during the holiday season check out her performance with um Stevie Wonder. One Day on Christmas, like it is a perfect um song between the two, and they just do an awesome job. Everybody know Andrea Day. I'll rise up. That's that artist. So she performed that. Then you had Post Malone perform America the Beautiful acoustically, because he's now kind of taking some he's kind of enjoying being in the country realm right now. He's not really rapping. He's singing. He still raps, of course, but he's just showing his versatility. And hey, it was in Post Malone fashion. He played acoustic, didn't mess up or anything. He sung it with the Post Malone voice that he has, and he did that. Then we move on to the national anthem with my girl Reba. Now it was funny because I was talking with one of my best friends during the Super Bowl, and I told him, like, man, everybody love Reba. Black people love Reba. We might not know her songs, but we love Reba. I enjoy her sitcom. I enjoyed her sitcom. Reba can sing. Reba can sing now, but she's strictly country. She is nowhere, no pop, no R&B, none of that. She is country all the way, and she gave it a country twang, with the national anthem. So she did all right. She did all right, but I wasn't as mind blown as last year. Now, really, last year who took the show was Chris Stapleton. Chris Stapleton killed. I mean, he did an awesome job with the national anthem. Babyface with America the Beautiful, wasn't that good. Sheryl Lee Ralph, who I love, star of Abbott Elementary. She did Lift Every Voice last year, so it wasn't that bad, but they could have been better. That's all I can say. Could have been better, but I just think that the music was overpowering the artists and and their mics. I think their mics wasn't as strong. But all right, moving on to the game. Moving on to the game. It's stressful, man. It's stressful. So um I'm literally like looking at the post game like celebrations. Of course, you gotta have Taylor Swift. You can't forget her, cameraman. Jesus Christ, man. Oh my gosh. They are literally okay. It's been like they are spending so much time. Oh, she's about to start crying. Oh my goodness. Oh, here comes another song. It's a part of the new album. It's called Travis Kelsey, Super Bowl 58. Mm-mm-mm. I just anyway, let me focus, Arrington. Focus, focus, focus. Super Bowl 58 started with San Fran and KC going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Really, when KC had the ball first, no, I'm sorry, San Fran, I believe, had the ball first, and San Fran was doing a thing, man. They were playing smart. They were playing well, not just smart. They were playing very careful. I'll say that they were playing very careful, and then all of a sudden, Christian McCaffrey fumbles the ball. He fumbles the ball. One of their best players on the squad fumbles the ball. Probably, the first time in this season because it's very rare you see Christian McCaffrey fumble the ball. So he fumbles the ball. Turn of events, gives it back to KC. KC starts going back and forth. Now, this is still 0-0. No one scored. Chris McCaffrey, I'm sorry, KC gets the ball. They start making some smart plays, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then all of a sudden, it looks like they heading to the promised land. It looks like they're heading to score, maybe a field goal. I can't pronounce the man's name, number 10. Pachacho, Paseco. There we go. He sorry, my man. It was a hard last name to pronounce. It's been a long night. A lot of drinks too. Paseco fumbles the ball. So again, two key players in each squad, two great running backs from opposing teams, fumbles. So again, those plays mean something. Those plays are very, very, very like, oh damn, they just did this. So anything can happen. When those occur, it's like, okay, San Fran starts playing good. Now, honestly, Brock Purdy, this was not one of his best games. I think he barely hit 200 in passing yards. I'll have to look at the stats. I mean, he might have had 180. Let me look at it while I'm talking to you guys right now. Brock Purdy overall stats. I don't want team stats. I want individual stats, my man. Okay. Brock Purdy had 255 yards in passing, 23 of 38 attempts, one touchdown. Pat Mahomes eventually had 34 out of 46 attempts, 333 yards, two touchdowns, one interception. Chris McCaffrey had 80 yards. I feel like it should have been more, but McCaffrey had about 80 yards in receiving as well as 8 receptions and one touchdown. So McCaffrey was their go-to target. It was back and forth. Once before you know it, it's 3-0. San Fran up. Okay, fast forward through the game. It's almost like the team was very equally balanced. Defense on San Fran was killing it. They were doing an awesome job. Eventually injuries started to occur for San Fran. So, and I'm trying if I can get to you know what? I'm trying to oh my gosh. Once again, y'all, it will help if I always come prepared, but I really just want to give you. Let me see here. So there was a linebacker for San Fran, and I believe he was number 40. Why can I not find? You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Anyway, I can't find this. But I believe he was number like 47, 48. He was making some tough plays. He made like two big plays, and he was like, okay, the momentum. He was very hype, excited. He's like, look, I got this. Turn it to the offense. Okay, offense is doing their thing. And then eventually, it comes back where you got to bring in San Fran's defense. It literally shows this linebacker jumps up. He's really excited. He hurry ups and run, falls, stumbles, and he's down for the count. Ends up tearing his ACL. Ends up tearing his Achilles. He ends up tearing his Achilles. He's out for the game. That's the first injury. Um, Debo Samuel, I believe, had a aching hamstring. Like he grabbed his hamstring. He's down. This is later on in the game. George Kittle, questionable. I mean, like injuries really started to occur for San Fran. It's like, what happened? All of a sudden, they all just start dropping like dominoes, man. They keep on hurt. Everybody's getting hurt. Everybody's getting hurt. Everybody's getting hurt. And hold on, I'm forgetting. I'm forgetting to give you the graphic of. Hold on. Let me hold it off real quick for you guys. So you have that happen. So injuries happen. Brock really didn't give you his best, but really it was all about McCaffrey. McCaffrey played his heart out. Number 11, I believe it's Ayuki. He made some key plays. Defensive wise, they were making good. Like it was really a balanced game. I think before you know it, it was like 10-0. Kept on moving. Then it becomes 10-3. San Fran still up. They tried to go for a I believe they tried to go to score again, and it was literally like 10-3 for a full length of the game. But once again, like I've said before, San Fran is a second half, fourth quarter squad. They thrive off of clutch situations. They thrive in that timing of the game. They don't do good in the beginning of the games, really. Fourth quarter, they're killing it. Like I said, second half, that's their element, right? Um, cut it to I believe it was 10-3, and let's go to halftime. What do we have? None other than Usher. Usher Raymond. Usher does a halftime to remember. Actually, he performed the longest halftime in the NFL history at 15 minutes. So it's regularly been going on for about 13 solid minutes. He, of course, broke that record. He added an extra two because Usher got them hits. He brought out the full, I feel like, Vegas vibe. In the beginning, he had all the acrobats, the people that you see in Vegas. He had two members, I believe, of the Kappa fraternity, predominantly African American fraternity, strutting with him, moving the shoulders like they do. Then you had his first guest was Alicia Keys, the lovely Alicia Keys. Now Alicia, she started off singing her song oh man, what did she sing? She sung Some People Want It All. She sung that, but her voice kind of that first tune kind of like I was like, ooh, Alicia, no, Alicia, don't, no. It's been a while since Alicia been performing. I understand. Alicia's still a legend in my opinion. That was my first crush. I mean, Alicia, she was one of my first secular concerts to attend. I think it was when she had the single "No One," and at the time it was supposed to be Jordan Sparks, Neo, and her. Jordan Sparks was sick that day, so it was just Neo and her. Still had an awesome time. It was at the Hampton Coliseum. Never forget it. And she performed that song as well as her and Usher performed "My Boo." Legendary, right? He brought out Will I Am. He brought out Jermaine Dupri. He brought out Lil Jon and Ludacris. He brought out her, the artist, her rocking it out on the guitar. Usher, man, he did an awesome job. A plus. It was better than last year's, and I'm a diehard Rihanna fan, but obviously Rihanna couldn't give you her full on like in Rihanna fashion because she was pregnant. She was she was carrying, so she couldn't do too much movement. But I would say Usher really did an awesome job. So kudos to Usher on bringing down the house during halftime. You can hear the whole crowd singing his songs. Um, I mean, there's people that just watch the Super Bowl just for halftime, and they're like, I just want to watch Usher. So they did. Um, Now commercials was back and forth. Beyonce did a great commercial. She by dropping an announcement on a new album. Let me see. You had one that featured two cast members of the legendary show Friends, Jennifer Aniston, and another I don't know I'm not familiar with the gentleman's name, but they did one. Excuse me, because it is late. You had who else? Who else? What was some other interesting ones? Um, Commercials didn't do. LL Cool J was featured in a Bud Light, no, a Coors Light commercial. With the whole train, people around the world. They did that one. It wasn't that bad. Like commercials could have been better. Arnold Schwarzenegger was featured in one. Gronkowski missed a field goal. He came up close, 25-yard field goal. He came up really close, but he came up short. So darn Gronk. Um, Overall on the commercials, I'll probably give him like a good. Let's go with C minus. Let's go with a C minus. Yeah, C minus on the commercials. Halftime A plus. Now let's head back to the football game. So 10-3. You start seeing KC wake up a little more. KC scores. I think it's what is it? It's 12 to what is it? 12 to 10. If I'm not mistaken, 12 to 10. And that was a score for quite a long time. And then eventually you see let's head it back to um, 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 um San Fran, and I believe San Fran missed a field goal, and that field goal was yes. So okay, they score. Now you got 16-12. Try to kick a field goal. Field gets blocked, so now it's still at 16. Um, Before you know it, it's I believe 1919 is the overall score, and then it starts getting closer and closer. Then eventually, boom, overtime, which it hasn't been a overtime in a long time for it hasn't been an overtime in quite a while in the NFL. Game goes into overtime. What does San Fran choose? They choose tails, just like before. um, they end up getting the ball. Now the rules go in overtime. Whoever gets the ball first, you have to score a touchdown in order to win the game. Now, if you kick a field goal, you don't win the game. You got at 3 points, added more. Now you have an opportunity you give opportunity to the other squad to score a touchdown to possibly win the game. So they make it so far, no cigar, end up kicking a field goal. I feel as though they got a little comfortable. I feel as though they really got a little comfortable with that because they really should have went for they needed to bust their ass to score a touchdown field goals, you can't with the Kansas City Chiefs, man. You can't fall asleep on them. So they score a field goal, give it to KC. KC starts running the ball further down, bring it down, then they're in the red zone. Now you're screwed because yes, a field goal, wouldn't win it, but the red zone is a dangerous territory for the Kansas City Chiefs. That's all I'm gonna say. It was dangerous territory. And then guess what? It turned out that I was right on that one too. They end up scoring a touchdown, winning the game, and now I can show this is off of the NFL's um Instagram site, and you see it right there. That's right. Super Bowl 58 champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, they are now can be considered a dynasty because they've won 3. That's right, 3 Super Bowls. Patrick Mahomes is just, I believe, 27 years old, 28. Not, six, just been in the league for about 6 years. I mean, they got a lot of young guys on their team, man. Like, it's unreal. It's unreal. And really, this wasn't the best game from Pat Mahomes. Mahomes did not have a great he did not have a great regular season. They actually said this was like his worst regular season in a long time, like ever. Like I think he averaged like 270 yards in passing, which I mean is still good in my opinion, but is not on his caliber. I was really hoping for McCaffrey to get a win. McCaffrey is, I believe he's about 27 years old. Very young, but at the running back position nowadays in the league, a lot of running backs retire early. They might retire after 8 years, 9 years, maybe 11 max. But a running back position in order to stay healthy too, it's a tough position to continue a career. So I'm hoping he still pushes on, stays, keeps that hope alive for a ring, because this was his chance. Chase Young, who was actually traded this past season from the Washington Commanders to the San Fran 49ers. I mean, he did it. He did his thing. He ended up, him, Nick Bosa, who were actually teammates at Ohio State. I mean, they did like it was so good. It was so good. I won't even say it's like a rigged, because a lot of people say, "Oh, this is a rig. This was rigged." The bets. This is all conspiracy theory. It wasn't. It wasn't, man. It's unfortunate. I was just really looking forward to seeing Taylor Swift take a L. It sounds kind of salty, and I have nothing against Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift just always, something bugs me about Taylor Swift. And I think I was even more annoyed the fact that the NFL would literally give Taylor Swift more TV time than the actual game. Just like they did today. Like they literally, I mean, pre-show, they probably showed her like 50,000 times. They showed her arriving. They showed all her friends she's with. Every time they showed Taylor Swift. I mean, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. Trust and believe, if the Chiefs would have lost, she would have wrote an album about that. Or matter of fact, if the Chiefs would have lost, guess what? Her and Travis would have been broken up because she don't date losers. That's right. I said it. But now that they won, I mean, they probably gonna get engaged later this year. Watch my words. They probably gonna get engaged later this year. Lord have mercy, man. Again, unfortunate, but from the beginning, I said it. I was like this. Detroit, that was Detroit's game to win, and it should have been Detroit, KC. Detroit would have really put it. San Fran shouldn't have been the squad to play in the Super Bowl with San Fran, but hey, they beat Detroit because Detroit made some stupid calls, and they end up winning the game. Nothing against KC. Nothing against KC. They are an amazing team, coached by an amazing coach, have amazing players. I have nothing against them. No hatred towards them at all. They are the team to beat. It's just, hey, you never want to see like repeat squads. That's why people really didn't like the Patriots like that, because the Patriots literally was like going to the Super Bowl back to 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 back. It was getting old. It wasn't Like people weren't enjoying that. But I think ratings wise would have been even skyrocket. The fact that, if Brock Purdy would have won because, hey, he's 24 years old, he was the last pick in the 2022 draft, Mr. Irrelevant. This would have been a great story. But hey, obviously it's a better story the fact that you can now consider KC a dynasty. And on top of that, too, this is the first Super Bowl that Lamar Hunt's wife, the widow of Lamar Hunt, who's she was the uh, um, sole owner of the team. She passed away, so it was a lot at stake for that, right? Um, but closing this program, I just wanted to follow you up with aftermath of the Super Bowl, giving you my my grades, my thoughts on it again, just to rewind it. Opening performances with the Lift Every Voice, America Beautiful, and National Anthem, sound really effed it up. It did not help them at all. They're all great performances, great performers, very talented, but that performance was not hitting it for me. I would probably give them a D plus. The overall game was legendary. You definitely get an A plus for that game. It went overtime. I mean, why not? I mean, come on, you A plus because it went to overtime. It sucks of the outcome because I was really rooting for San Fran, but yeah, and this was their second time they lost by KC in the Super Bowl. So they gotta wake it up and start finding some ways on what they need to do to improve that. Halftime performance A plus. Shout out to Usher and all his guests. Commercials I'll give a C minus. Commercials I'll give a C minus. And cameraman, you get a D plus for showing so much Taylor Swift. I didn't like that. I didn't appreciate it. I want to see the Super Bowl, so shame on you. Again, this is episode 70 of the Arrington Gavin podcast. Tune into the show every Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and also 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via YouTube. So YouTube, Rumble, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin podcast on Rumble, our Smooth Club podcast on Facebook and X at our Smooth Club Media. Our Smooth Club Media on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we might have some new news coming in very shortly. We'll see, not shortly, but very soon here with the pod. So just continue to tune into the pod, and I truly appreciate that. Tune into my weekly radio show in your city here on WNSB Hot 91.1 FM, the Soul of VA. Don't worry if you're not in the Hampton Roads area, you can't find us on that radio dial. You can tune into the show by downloading their mobile app. It's free, WNSB app. You can listen from there, 12 p.m. every Sundays. That's all I got for you. Y'all have a blessed one. I'm out.